My name is Rachel, and I want to tell you my story. I live in a quiet suburb just outside of Philadelphia. It's a peaceful place with tree-lined streets, small coffee shops, and neighbors who wave when you pass by. I'm 38 years old now, and for 15 years, I thought I had the kind of marriage people dream about. But one text message, sent to the wrong person, shattered everything I believed was true. This is what happened. It was a Tuesday morning in late September. Nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary, just another day in the life David and I had built together over 15 years. The sun was streaming through our kitchen window, the same window we stood in front of when we first toured this house. I remember how David wrapped his arms around me from behind that day and whispered, "This is it, Rachel. This is where we'll grow old together." I believed him then. I believed him every single day after that. I was making coffee that morning, his with 2 sugars, mine black, the way I had every morning for over a decade. The routine felt comforting, safe, predictable. David was upstairs in the shower, getting ready for another day at the office. I could hear the water running. I could hear him humming some tune I didn't recognize. That's when his phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. The screen lit up, a message from a name I didn't know. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Same place?" My heart didn't race, not at first. I just stared at those words. I read them again and again, trying to make them mean something innocent. A colleague from work, I told myself. Maybe a surprise party for someone. Maybe a group meeting. There had to be an explanation. But my hands were shaking when I picked up his phone. I knew his passcode. Of course I did. We never had secrets. Or so I thought. He knew mine too. We shared everything. Bank accounts, calendars, passwords. We were partners. That's what marriage was supposed to be. I shouldn't have looked. I know that now. But something deep inside me, something I couldn't ignore, told me I needed to see. I opened the messages, and my entire world fell apart. Deep breath, voice shaking. There were months of conversations. I scrolled back through weeks and weeks of messages. Each one felt like a punch to my chest. "I miss you. Last night was incredible. He doesn't suspect anything. I wish we didn't have to hide. You make me feel alive again." Voice cracking. Every word was a knife. Every message was a betrayal I had to witness, even though they had been sent weeks, sometimes months ago. There were plans made while I was at home cooking dinner for us, sweet messages sent while I was lying next to him in bed, promises made during his work trips that I had helped him pack for. Bitter laugh through tears. I had helped him pack. I had ironed his shirts and told him to have a safe trip. I saw her name over and over. Sarah. She even had a heart emoji next to her contact name. Sobbing. My husband, the man who promised to love only me, had put a heart emoji next to another woman's name in his phone. The coffee maker beeped, pulling me back to reality. The shower turned off upstairs, and I stood there in our kitchen, the kitchen where we celebrated birthdays and anniversaries, where we had lazy Sunday breakfasts and late-night conversations, holding proof that the man I loved since I was 23 had been living a double life. My legs felt weak. I gripped the counter to steady myself. Shaky breath. Part of me wanted to scream. Part of me wanted to pretend I never saw any of it, to put the phone down and go back to making coffee like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. When David walked into the kitchen 5 minutes later, towel around his waist, hair still wet, smiling at me the way he had for 15 years, that easy, comfortable smile that used to make my heart flutter, pause. Voice hollow. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even look at him properly. I just handed him the phone. I watched his face change. It happened slowly, like watching something collapse. First confusion. His eyebrows came together as he looked at the screen. Then recognition. Pause. His eyes went wide and the color drained from his face. Then panic set in, turning his skin red and blotchy. "He can explain," he said. Sharp, humorless laugh. Those 3 words, the most common phrase when someone gets caught, and yet he said them like they would somehow make this better. He tried. He really did try to explain. He said it meant nothing, that she was just someone from work who understood the pressure he was under. He said he loved me, that he had always loved me, that I was his wife, his partner, his everything. He said it was a mistake, a terrible mistake, that he was going to end it, that he had been trying to figure out how to end it for weeks. He said I was the only one that mattered. But I couldn't hear him, not really, because all I could think about were the lies. All those nights he said he was working late on a big project, all those weekend conferences he had to attend, sobbing quietly. All the times my mother asked if everything was okay between us, and I defended him. He's just stressed with work, I told her. He's working so hard for our future. Weeping tears, sniffling. My friends noticed too. He seems distant, they would say carefully, not wanting to upset me. Is everything all right? And I would laugh it off. That's just how he is when he's focused on work. He'll be back to normal soon. I had trusted him completely, blindly, without question, and he used that trust as a shield to hide behind while he built an entire relationship with someone else. I started thinking about all the small moments. Voice breaking. How many times had he kissed me after being with her? How many times had he said I love you while thinking about her? How many times had he made love to me while wishing I was someone else? Long pause, heavy breathing. The betrayal wasn't just about the affair. It was about every single day he looked me in the eye and lied. Every morning he said goodbye. Every night he came home. Every moment of our shared life had been poisoned by his lies. How long? I finally asked. Whisper. My voice was barely there. He hesitated, and in that silence, I knew it was worse than I thought. 8 months, he said quietly. Sharp inhale, voice breaking. 8 months, 2/3 of a year, almost 3 full seasons of my life where I had been living in a marriage that only existed in my mind. I told him to leave that day. Firm voice through tears. He went to stay with his brother. I couldn't look at him anymore. I couldn't breathe the same air. The house felt different without David. Emptier, yes, but also somehow more honest. Soft sigh. This silence didn't lie to me. For 3 days, I barely slept. I would lie in our bed, my bed now, replaying every moment of the last few years, looking for signs I had missed. Bitter laugh. And they were everywhere. How had I been so blind? On the 3rd day, I started packing his things. I needed him out of my space, out of my life. I was throwing clothes into boxes when I decided to clean out his desk in the home office. That's where I found it. A letter, hidden in the back of his drawer, underneath some old tax documents. Pause. The envelope had never been sealed. The letter had never been sent. My hands trembled as I unfolded the paper. The date at the top was from 6 months ago, right around the time his affair with Sarah would have been starting. Voice shaking. I stood there in his office and read it, and with every line, my anger transformed into something completely different, something that hurt in a completely different way. Reading. Soft and broken. Dear Rachel, I don't know how to say this to your face, so I'm writing it down. Maybe I'll never give this to you. Maybe I'm a coward. I probably am. I'm not happy. I haven't been happy for a long time, and I don't know how to tell you that without destroying everything we've built. You seem so content with our life. You talk about our future like it's this beautiful thing that's already decided, and I smile and nod because I don't know how to tell you that I feel like I'm disappearing. When did we stop talking? Really talking? We talk about schedules and bills and what's for dinner, but when was the last time you asked me what I was thinking about, what I was dreaming about, what scared me or excited me or kept me up at night? I feel like I'm living next to you, but not with you. We're roommates who share a bed. We go through the motions, the good morning kiss, the how was your day, the I love you before sleep, but they feel empty, like words we say because that's what married people do. I'm lonely, and I know that sounds crazy because I'm married to you, because you're right there every day, but I'm so lonely it physically hurts sometimes. I tried to tell you last month. Remember when I asked if we could talk? Really talk? And you said, of course, after I finished the emails. You never came back to me. You got caught up with work, and by the time you were done, it was late, and the moment passed. I didn't bring it up again. I've tried so many times, but you're always busy, always focused on the next thing we need to do, the next goal we need to reach. You're building this perfect life, and I'm drowning in it. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid if I tell you all this, you'll leave. I'm afraid if I don't tell you, I'll leave. I'm trapped in my own marriage, and I don't know how to get out without breaking both of us. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for not being brave enough to have this conversation. I'm sorry for feeling this way. I'm sorry that I don't know how to fix this. I'm sorry that I'm about to do something that will hurt you, because I can't keep living like this.